What's up, folks? How are you? Welcome back to our PlayPicks.com YouTube channel. I'm at Perrault. Time for another Pick 5 video. 5 games against the spread in college football, where last week we had our first winning week. Good to see it. 3-2. Let's do it again. Or I guess it was our second winning week, right? Yeah, I can't remember. I'm all getting caught up here. I can't remember where we are here. But 3-2 last week, regardless. So that's where we are. So let's get rocking and rolling with some more games, some more picks, and have some fun coming up here for us as we look at playpicks.com/bonus. Now, before we get into any of the games, it's important to highlight some things here over at playpicks.com/bonus. Why? Because there's some new offers for you guys in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. We've talked about DraftKings a lot here with the $25 for free, up to a 50% bonus deposit on your $500 deposit. But how about a William Hill, $50 when you bet $50? How about that? A free $50 from William Hill. That's new. FanDuel comes in. We know about FanDuel and your $500 risk-free bet. But how about BetMGM? They're new here, up to a $500 risk-free bet in New Jersey with BetMGM. You got Caesars as well involved here. How about that? $10 for free, no deposit needed, just for signing up. And we know about points bets, how they do it. Bet $150 on a $50 deposit. You get rocking and rolling with points bets. So very cool stuff coming up here for the no deposit bonuses, the big bonuses, and all the fun stuff here for the sportsbook partners for us here at playpicks.com. Let's get into the games, all right? And let's start with a couple of the big ones. Why don't we start? Let's start with Michigan and Wisconsin. Lines here at DraftKings and FanDuel, kind of the two we always look at. Here's DraftKings. Michigan getting 3, catching 3 on the road. Wisconsin laying the 3. Total 42.5. You got minus 157 on the money line, plus 128 if you'd like to take Michigan there. Over at FanDuel, you got a very similar situation. My computer's freezing. Okay, there we go. Minus 3.5 for Wisconsin, plus 3.5 like the dog there, plus 140 on the money line, 165 in the total, also at 44. All right, so this is the game of the weekend in the Big Ten, right? Huge matchup. Wisconsin is crushing people. They haven't been scored on yet this year. Haven't been scored on. Third game of the year. Both these teams coming off buys. Harbaugh's got a lot of pressure on him at Michigan, man. Wisconsin, Jonathan Taylor. I mean, I love this team. Jonathan Taylor now with, 8 touchdowns scored so far this year for Wisconsin. This is a game where last year Wisconsin went to Michigan and got crushed. It was the worst loss in the Paul Chryst era so far. Up with Bucky. It's revenge time with Wisconsin. I like Wisconsin to run the football. I don't know what to make of Michigan, man. Against Army, didn't look good. Went to overtime. I know that's assignment football, and maybe they were looking ahead. But against MTSU, they didn't cover the line there either. I'm going to take Wisconsin here at home. It's just I'm not a very big fan of this new offense right now for Michigan. I think this is a game they lose. I take Wisconsin minus the 3 at DraftKings to win and cover outright. The other massive game of the weekend is Georgia and Notre Dame. Let's just scroll down here and take a look at Georgia and Notre Dame. 14, laying 14. The Bulldogs are at home. It's the first trip ever between the hedges for Notre Dame. Over the total is 58.5. It's both minus 110, plus 400 on the Irish if you like them to win the game. Minus 560 at DraftKings for FanDuel. You look at 14.5. The hook there with Georgia, 640 lanes, minus 640 on the money line, plus 460 here on the money line for Notre Dame. 57 is your total. Here's where I'm going on this game, okay? I'm actually going to go and look at this. I'm looking at the first half spread, and I'm looking at the 7.5 at minus 110. Now, there isn't a first half line yet out here at taping time for DraftKings, only at FanDuel. Here's my thought on the Georgia game. There's going to be 93,000 people inside Sanford Stadium. There's going to be over 90,000 people outside the stadium. This environment is going to be bonkers. Notre Dame is not used to playing in SEC environments like this. It's going to take a little time to kind of figure it out. And I think Jake Fromm is going to come out firing. I think the Irish get caught up in the emotion early and then make it a game late. I think it's going to be a great game, but I think it's a tale of two halves. I like Georgia to cover the first half line of minus 7.5, and then the game kind of tightening up a little bit. I don't like the total at 14. It's too many points to lay here against an Irish team that is a good football team and a good quarterback. So I'm looking at Georgia minus 7.5. I think they take, something like a 14-3 lead into the break. And then in the second half, things tighten up and it becomes, I don't hate a play on Notre Dame. I just like the first half more with the emotion and the energy to having Notre Dame in the South. You got to live in the South to fully understand what Notre Dame and the history of Notre Dame, what it means to have them playing at Athens. It's a huge deal for Georgia. I like the Bulldogs to come out firing. I think they come out and they cover that first half spread of 7.5. So first play is Michigan. Wisconsin -3. First half, Georgia -7.5. Okay, let's go to a couple games that are not top 25 related. Cal and Ole Miss. Let's talk about this one for a second. Okay, Cal beat Washington on the road already. Very impressive win, already a top 25 win, feather in their cap. They play a bruising style of defense, give up less than 20 points per game. And look, Ole Miss against bad teams, put up points. I have a rule. Normally, I do not back a Pac-12 school against an SEC school. I did it against Oregon and Auburn, and it burned me. I broke my own rule. I'm going to break my own rule again here. I like Cal. I like Cal for a couple different reasons. I think they're going to control the game. I think they're going to frustrate Ole Miss. And I think, look, this is the first time a Pac-12 school has ever played in Oxford. I get the environment. It's going to be difficult, but I think Cal plays a style of football that is going to be difficult and frustrating, much like Memphis did. Ole Miss won on the road. They lost that game outright. I think this is a tight back and forth battle, but I'm going to lay the 2.5 here. I think Cal has a real shot +2.5 to win the game outright. I don't hate a play on the money line, but see, it's only juiced up to +106. The book's kind of telling you there a little bit that a win for Cal won't be that surprising, but Cal opened as 1-point favorites. It's been flipped because of public betting all over Ole Miss. Just like I said, it's a Pac-12 school on the road at the SEC. Public's going to come in and hammer, right? I'm going to go with Cal here, getting 2.5 points on this one. Okay, let's go to a big point spread. Big point spread, and let's go back to the well. Remember last week? Last week we had Texas and Rice. End of that game was bonkers. Rice with a garbage touchdown. I'm yelling at my TV set. The ensuing kickoff is returned for a touchdown to cover that 32-point line for us with Texas. Phew, right? That could have been bad. Didn't. We got the W. I like it. Now, Baylor and Rice, again, this is a 26-point line at DraftKings. It's also 26, I believe, at FanDuel. Let me double check it. Yeah, 26.5 here at FanDuel. So I like this line better. I like 26. Rice stinks. I mean, stinks loud out loud, stink. They didn't do anything against Army in their opener, scored 7 points, and they've given up 41 and 48 points respectively to Wake Forest and Texas. Guess whose offense is humming to the tune of nearly 60 points a game? That would be Baylor. Rice's offense wants to run the football. I don't care if this is a road game. This is in the state of Texas. Baylor recruits Houston like crazy, much like Texas. They're going to throw up a big number here. I'm going to lay the 26 points. Baylor, big. They're going to score 50 points minimum. I don't think Rice scores more than 10. That's why I'd stay away from the total here. That's a 50 to 10. That's right on the number there. I'll take Baylor -26, laying it on the road at Rice. And finally, back to the Big Ten we go. And this is a really interesting game between Northwestern and Michigan State. You want to explain to me why Michigan State is -9.5 in this game? Michigan State hasn't scored more than 24 points against Power 5 teams in their last 9 games against Power 5 teams. They don't score, folks. Their offense is pathetic. Their defense is so good. They're like the Chicago Bears of college football. Their offense is garbage, but their defense is tremendous. Northwestern has a defense, however, and Northwestern didn't play well at Stanford, but played better against UNLV. This game's at home. Look, Michigan State might win this game, but it's like 10-7. I don't hate an underplay here at -110 at 38.5. It's a very similar number here at FanDuel for this one. Let me scroll through here and find that one. Okay, so it's 9.5. Plus 290, 38's the total here. So the total 38.5. So I like the total here. 38.5 better at DraftKings. Plus 9.5, also plus 9.5 on the same here. Northwestern's won 4 games, is going for their 4th consecutive win against Michigan State. Games on grass. This is going to be a rock fight. This is just going to be downright ugly. Yeah, Michigan State might win, but after their controversial loss at home to Arizona State last week, 9.5, I just don't get it. Spartans don't get why they're laying 9.5 here. I'm going to take the points with Northwestern at plus 9.5. So to recap, we're going with the Wisconsin Badgers -3. We're taking the first half of Georgia and Notre Dame. Going to take 7.5 and lay it with the Bulldogs for Notre Dame. I'm going to take the 2.5 points with Cal on the road at Ole Miss. I'm going to take the 9.5 points with Northwestern at home against Michigan State. And I'm going to lay the 26 with Baylor on the road at Rice. All right. You want to play any of those picks? Head on over to playpicks.com/bonus. DraftKings, William Hill, FanDuel, BetMGM, that's a new one, Caesars, and PointsBets, all great no deposit bonuses, all great risk-free wagers, all available on playpicks.com/bonus. We are back next week here on our YouTube channel for Play Picks, and in the comment section below, tell me what 5 games you're playing. Tell me if you like my plays, don't like my plays, and then subscribe to this channel so you get all the video we're doing, all the great stuff with NFL and college football each and every week here on playpicks.com. I'm Matt Perrault. We're back next week for another Pick 5 video here on playpicks.com.